Hi everyone, it's Denise from Denise Rich's Art and Design. Project 1 are these thrifted candlesticks I'm going to turn into risers for Christmas trees. The first thing I do is remove all the labels and whatever sticky residue is left behind. Using a heat gun tends to loosen the glue so that they come up easier. Sometimes I add a little water for older labels that are harder to get off. And a little Goo Gone is helpful as well when they are uncooperative. After removing the labels, I'm going to give them a little sanding. Looks like they might have a little, could be some wax on here, just to get any residue off and make the surface a little rougher for painting. Now that these are all sanded and I've washed them, I'm trying to decide what color I want to paint them. The paint in the bag is Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, and I had already painted this candlestick with that color, and I was trying to decide if that was the right color to use. I have this Waverly chalk paint in the color Hazelnut that I don't really care for. It's a little too yellowish, orangey, mustardy, I'm not sure, but I decided to mix it with Snow White, and I didn't really like that either. And then I added some mineral paint to, I made it too light, and then I wanted to darken it up. Once I got this to the color that I thought would be okay, I went ahead and painted 2 coats onto this candlestick. I knew I wouldn't be able to match that color again, so I just covered it with some saran wrap in between coats and made sure that I mixed up enough to do both coats. Sweet Pickins Milk Paint is a powder that you mix equal parts powder and water. So here I am mixing up 1 batch of Suitcase. Only mix up what you need because it does not keep. So this candlestick received 2 coats of Suitcase, and I usually turn it upside down and start with the undersides first, and then I flip it around and do all the top parts. Because this candlestick was ceramic, it was shiny and had a slick surface, so I did give it a coat of primer before I painted it. This candlestick will be getting 2 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color Sandstone, and I am using a pouncing motion to avoid any brush strokes. So here is a shot of all 3 Christmas trees that I thrifted. The burgundy Bottlebrush tree I actually got at Walmart, but the other 2 I did thrift. So I haven't actually painted these trees yet. I'm going to be spray painting them, but I did cut them off the base. Thinking back, I should have spray painted them before I took them off the base, because then I had to figure out a way to make them stand up in order to paint them. Little tip there. I think I was just a little impatient to see what they were going to actually look like on the bases. Here I'm trying to figure out where the actual middle of the candlestick is, because I didn't trust my eyeballing it, and I wanted to make sure it was in the center. And I'm going to be drilling holes into the wooden candlesticks to insert the metal wire of the Bottlebrush tree. And don't judge me on my drilling skills here. I did break it, but I figured out a way to fix it by sticking a coaster on top and drilling the hole in that. And now it's time for a little distressing on each of the candlesticks, just to give them a little aged appearance. I painted the coaster to match the candlestick, and I think I did 2 coats of paint, and then I used a little Gorilla Glue to attach the coaster to the base. I wanted to highlight the details of this particular candlestick, so I did 1 coat of white wax. I put it on kind of thick around the details so it would get down into the crevices, and then I wiped it all off. So for this next candlestick, I started out by wet distressing it, and the paint was stuck onto that wood pretty good, so I did move to a little finger sander and some sandpaper to do some distressing. And then I went over it with a coat of clear wax. And then I did a little highlighting of the details with black wax. Here's another Christmas tree that I thrifted that needs a little repair, but it won't be getting a candlestick base. I'm just going to spray paint it and leave it flat. This little lantern is one that I've had for quite a few years, and I just wanted to lighten it up a little bit with a coat of spray paint. So these are the colors of spray paint that I used on each of the Christmas trees. The multicolor texture paint that I had previously used on a different project, it didn't work, so it just got a plain coat of paint. This particular candlestick is one that I had already thrifted and refinished, and I'm going to be using that for this tree. I think I decided that the hole was not deep enough and I needed to drill a longer hole. I'm using a little Gorilla Glue inside the hole that I drilled to keep it in place and attaching the tree. Same for this candlestick. Once I put the coaster on top, I drilled down even further so that I could get more of the stem into the hole. I really appreciate hearing from you, so please leave me a comment and let me know what types of makeovers you like best. And here is the finished Christmas tree display. I love the elevated Christmas trees. I think it just gives them much more prominence. And I'm really happy with how they all came out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.